explosives. Anything we don't want down here goes up the smoke box and is returned to the surface. It is replaced with cool, fresh air that comes down compartments 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it works with convection. The old timers were very clever. They had it all figured out. Okay, anything to be down here, getting at that gold. Okay, now compartments 2 and 3 here are our windage or haulage compartments. Think about doing your shift. Okay, at the end of your shift, it's pretty handy to use to light the fuses for your explosives too. Okay, which we will discuss later on in the tour. Any questions about any of that? Not here to hold up your rock. Okay, a lot of people will tell you they are, and that is simply not true. Okay, timber sets are here as an early warning system. Okay, think of them like an alarm for your rocks. Smoke alarm's a good way of looking at it. Okay, smoke alarms are not there to put out the fire. They are there to let you know the building is on fire and it is time to leave. Timber sets are not here to hold up a rock. They are here to let you know that it is dangerous and it is time to leave. Okay, over in Ballarat they nickname them talking timbers. If your timbers start to talk, it is time to leave. Split sets. They are holding the rock in place. Now, every single one of the plates that you can see has a 6-foot one of these going straight back into the rock. Okay? Now, how they work is they are made out of springing steel. So a steel that will always try to get back into the original position it was formed in. Okay? Just picture a spring. If you push a spring down, all it wants to do is open back up again. This split here is exactly the same. Close it over, and all it wants to do is reopen. So all you need to do is drill a hole in the wall that's smaller than this, change the head on your drill, and drive this into the hole. Because the hole is smaller, it forces the split to close over. But because it's springing steel, all it wants to do is reopen. The outwards pressure of this split trying to reopen itself is what is pinning all the rock together. Okay, each one of these is holding 7,000 kilograms of rock in place, 7 tons. They are very, very, very effective. Okay, we do not have enough good things to say about split sets. Okay, without their invention, no one would be underground with me. Okay, so we're pretty happy that these things exist. Now, split sets and timber sets don't go everywhere and anywhere. They only go where the rock has been deemed weak or damaged or dangerous. Okay, now how we're finding the dangerous rocks is with this. Okay, for those at the back, it just looks like a little rusty crowbar. Okay, we call this a pinch bar. And all you do with this is hit it into the rock. And then listen to the noise that it makes. Okay, if it makes a ringing noise, that rock is good. Sounds a bit like a bell. Okay, if you hit it into the rock, makes a bit of a hollow, drummy noise, that is not good. Okay, that is dangerous and we need to do something about it. Okay, I'll give you a quick demonstration of this so you get to hear the differences in the noise. Okay, so stay where we are, have a listen to this. Ringing like a bell or hollow broken drum. Here we go. Pretty happy with that? Spot on. That noise is good. If you hear that, you are safe as. What about this noise? Not so good. Okay, so you're all very clever. You'll join Maple with you next week, alright? So the goal. You are looking for something small, typically smaller than a pea, very yellow in colour, good eyes in the front window, okay, and not overly shiny. If you use the drill.
Sounds like a DR.
That shiny stuff, fool's gold.
That one there?
Yeah, that's fool's gold.
So if it's really shiny, it's fool's gold.
Yeah.
Today, that's worth about $90 million. The brown quartz, it's almost like a bowl on top of it, okay? And you can go down and there's another piece. Run up to this piece here, okay? Take a step off the shelf and then you run into this piece. This is probably the biggest piece in all 3 windows. That's $800 specimen right there. Okay, the yellow powder that we're seeing is sulfur. That's what makes it smell down here. Okay, if sulfur gets wet, it smells like rotten eggs. Okay,
No, that one's easy. That mark out where it is.
The yellow stuff is
Shit,
sulfur.
yeah, but look how much.
Oh, look at that.
Look how much crap you've got to remove just to get those little bloody. All that. That's shit like in there.
Smell down here. Okay. Okay, Okay, it's not quite as pure down here as the bags you're buying at home.
There's gold in there.
Okay, but still the same gig, all right? And at the very end of the tour, if you are looking at something black, now stalagmites and stalactites and caves. Seen them drip down slowly grow over a long period of time. That's over you around this way. Let's find some drills. Turn on.
Oh, that goes on.
Goes in a fair bit, that one.
Now it's all. Okay, so as I mentioned, okay, the rock down here is really hard. The only way to get through the rock is to drill little holes in it, fill it up with explosives, and then blow the rock up into little pieces. Everywhere we have walked today has been formed that way. Okay, every mine under Bendigo is formed that way. Even Fosterville, a modern gold mine working 15 minutes out of town, still drill and still blast. It is the only way to get through the rock. It is that hard. Okay, you can't use pickaxes or anything like that. If you swing a pickaxe at one of these rocks, it will bounce off and hit you in the head and teach you a lesson. Okay, don't do that. Only way is to blow it apart. So, drills down here run off compressed air. This is our compressed air line here, okay? Comes down the ladder way, gets teed off on every level so everyone has a bit of access to it, okay? Before we had the compressed air lines, we obviously couldn't power the drills. So, different technique. This one over here. This is called the hammer and the tap technique, okay? Now you've got a tap, which is a little shrunken down baby, okay? This would be 1.5 meters long. You've got a hammer. This is also a little baby one. This would be a 12-pound sledgehammer. Okay, I wouldn't be waving either one of them around in one hand, that's for sure. Okay, takes 2 people to do it. One person on the front doing a little turn between every single hit, so we chip away at a different piece of rock. Okay, the other miner is standing at the back with the 12-pound sledgehammer, swinging as hard as they possibly can. Okay, got to have a lot of trust in your mates. If you slipped and missed and got the knuckles, you'll be very unpopular, okay? But you did swap every 30 minutes, so a bit of revenge, mind the cars. So that technique would get you a 1 metre deep hole in 4 hours. As you'll see in the next stop, we need a minimum of 15 holes for an effective blast. So that takes ages. Okay, with that technique, we are lucky to get 1 blast done a week, which is just not good enough. With the drills, we can do 2 a day. Okay, so we really want to get the drills down in so we can really start operating. Okay, so our miners used that technique to open up room, got the lines down, started using the drills. Okay, now the drills that we used in this mine is this drill here. This is called a drifter drill. Okay, drifter drills will drill a 1.5 metre deep hole in 10 minutes. Okay, heaps better than a 1 metre hole in 4 hours over here. Okay, so efficiency is starting to go up. Okay, now health risks from this drill, mainly losing your hearing. Okay, these drills are so loud that most of our miners left us completely deaf. Okay, but losing your hearing is not too bad when you're looking at drills over here that will kill you. The biggest health risk with one of these sort of drills is death. Okay, we don't want that. Okay, that's not good, so we didn't use those ones. Okay, we're using these ones over here because we're not going to die. Fantastic. We might lose our hearing, but at least we've still got our lives. Okay? Now, best way for me to show you this drill is to turn it on. Okay? So that is what I'm going to do. Now, if you are a mini miner under the age of 18, please put your fingers in your ears. This is not an option. Okay, this is a must. If you're an adult, it is entirely up to you. I would highly recommend you put your fingers in your ears. This drill is very loud. Okay? But if you want to film it, you can. I'm not going to yell at you. Okay? You're an adult. You're allowed to make your own decisions. Okay? It's a perk of being an adult. But mini miners, please, fingers in ears for me. Okay? I'll count us down from 3. Righto, we all ready? Drilling in 3, 2, 1. Still hearing out there? Still all there? How was that? Pretty loud? Yeah. Okay, that was 10 seconds. Now, every time you came to work in a mine like this drill would have to operate for 2 hours. Okay? Imagine standing here for 2 hours with no fingers in your ears, because that's what our miners are dealing with. Okay, earmuffs not invented, earplugs not invented.
It's a bit louder than they are.
He didn't explain why that was deadly.
Same page about what I'm talking about when I say a pattern. Okay, not all the holes blow up at the same time. It works its way through in a pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, is I'll set this one off. Now, it's nowhere near as loud as the drills. I find most people don't need to cover their ears, but if you want to, well, now's your chance, I suppose. Okay, pattern's going to start here in the middle and work its way out. Okay, so here we go. Blasting in 3, 2, 1. Sense what I'm saying when I say a pattern now? Okay, not all the holes blow up at the same time. Righto, so, as I mentioned, the first thing we need to do when we arrive, okay, now, 2/10 of the rock in that pile will be about the size of your head. We are using our hands to load up the big chunky bits and putting them into a mine truck. Once we've gone through and got rid of all the big chunky bits, we get to use a different piece of equipment. Okay, unfortunately, not this fancy rocker shoveler here behind me. Okay, they were invented, but we could not afford them. They were too expensive for this mine. We needed a cheaper option. Cheaper option, hand shovels. Okay, down here nicknamed banjos. They're nicknamed banjos because of the shape and the noise they make when they scrape across the rock. Okay, now a crew of 2 miners with a banjo each can fill up 1 mine truck in 10 minutes. This pile of rock weighs between 15 and 20 tonnes. To give you a little bit of an idea, full of children weighs 13 tonnes. So the pile of rock that we need to move at the start of every single shift weighs more than a school bus that will be full of kids. Okay, and we are doing it all by hand. Now we've loaded up our first truck, fantastic. Now it's time to push it around to the plat. Okay, we swap our full one for an empty one that the flat man's organised for us. Okay, we grab the empty one, we drag it back, we fill it up. Once it's full, we push it back, swap the full one for an empty one. To get rid of your rock from yesterday's blast, that is the first 4 hours of your 8-hour shift done. All you are doing is shoveling rock and pushing trucks. Okay, once you've finished that, takes you 4 hours, it's crib time. Well-deserved lunch break, okay? I think I'd be very hungry after shoveling rock and pushing trucks for 4 hours, okay? After you've finished your lunch, it's time to set up the drill. Okay, you set up the drill, you spend 2 hours drilling holes in the wall. Once you've got your holes done, you pack them full with the explosives and you blow your rock up. You go home, you come back, you do it all again. You do exactly the same thing every single time you come to work.
Like we're going up.
10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20. Lift finishes, okay? I'll give you a little bit of warning before we get there, but takeoff is nice and smooth. Now's the time to turn your cap lamps off if you want to do that. It's 3 clicks of the red button on top will turn it off. If you need help, your neighbour next to you might be able to turn it off. Okay, it's pretty hard to tell whether they're on or off. Okay, now we are going up in 3, 2, 1. Smooth operation. There. Very good. So helmets in the truck.